Hello and namaste, my beautiful friends. I am Jill Loftus of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your planetary energy forecast for the week of January the 20th, 2025. So one of the things to remember about this week is that we are still steeped in the somewhat new energy of the north node of the moon having moved into the sign of Pisces. And of course, the south node of the moon standing directly across the sky in the sign of Virgo. Because these energies move backwards through the chart, they immediately have run into the Neptunian energy, Neptune that is currently in Pisces. Now, this energy really comes to a culmination through the end of the week, but it's going to be in play, something that we need to understand, adapt to, and work with even into the end of next month. All right, this is a really powerful amplification. The north node, esoterically, is considered to be Rahu, the head of the dragon, and the south node, Ketu, the tail of the dragon. And the head of the dragon, just like a dragon breathes fire, right? It's an accelerant. It's an expander. It makes the energy that much stronger. And so that can be a lot for us to handle. I think already we can see society has had a little difficult time with Neptune being in Pisces. It's very empowered in Pisces. And some of the shadow of Pisces has been elevated, has been increased, right? The shadow of delusion, the shadow of being so caught up in the pain of the world that you can't function, that you want to block or not feel what you're feeling, that you want to idealize certain things or romanticize them, or even become obsessed with certain things, or have this desire to blot it all out and not feel. Okay, these are all some of the shadows of Pisces energy, instead of leaning into the beautiful purity of Piscean love, the ocean of the cosmos, the connection to the astral and the other and the spiritual, the deeply intuitive energy of Pisces. All right, so we are being asked with the polarity of Pisces Virgo to balance these things and not overindulge in our dreaminess, nor fall into the shadow of that critical, cruel Virgo martyrdom. Okay, both symbols, both signs can fall into the shadow of martyrdom. So that is something to be aware of with so much amplified emotional energy this week. So that is something that tones the entire week. All right, don't lose track of that and don't fall into the shadow. But we also have another really strong energy this week, and that is Chiron coming into a difficult angle with Mercury. So from Aries to Capricorn. And then we have the Sun meeting Pluto. Now, I feel like this Sun-Pluto is something we will feel all week, even though the precise meeting is not until Tuesday. I consider it to be in play Monday. And let's talk about this before we talk about the Chiron and Mercury. Sun-Pluto, of course, is a death or regenerative kind of aspect. Pluto moves so slowly, right? So for the next 20 years, every year, at some point during Aquarius season, the sun will come into contact with Pluto and be taken to Hades, down to the underworld. So this is one of the first contacts, and that's why we really want to pay attention to see what this portends, what symbols this brings for us and for the collective. And specifically, if you know where 1 degree of Aquarius is in your chart, or if you have anything in the early fixed signs, the fixed signs being Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So being aware of what that energy feels like. This can be a literal death of a solar figure. This could be a transformation of a solar figure. This could be transformation of the collective, because Aquarius really represents that energy of the group. It also represents technology, and so you may see some really interesting developments this week when it comes to technological things, or things that relate to anything or anyone that feels alien or foreign to you. That also may come up. It is a time definitely to be aware of power struggles or power dynamics. and to not allow your energy to be consumed. Now, I feel like with not just the potent Neptune and Pisces energy and the fact that Saturn is still in Pisces and then this Sun Pluto, you may feel a sense of exhaustion or tiredness, or so make sure you're nourishing yourself with plenty of rest and sleep if that is what you need. I was just recording an Astro Veda podcast with Karina Gruling of Thrive Podcast. You know, every month we blend together astrology and Ayurveda, and we were both conversing right before we began to record about how much more sleep we've both been needing. And she's considerably younger than I am, so I was like, yeah, even her daughter has been sleeping a lot more. So, you know, allow yourself. Don't again, the shadow of the nodes would be the Virgo part of you saying, oh, you're being lazy, instead of just being like, well, you know, this is reasonable. I'm processing a lot here. There's a lot in the cosmic ocean that I might be absorbing, and I need to rest. I need to dream. So take care of yourself this week, and of course, always. Now, we also have that, remember, Chiron in Aries in a clash with Mercury and Capricorn. So I feel like this could be a little bit of a, you know, you're trying to walk your own personal path of healing and becoming more self-reliant. That is what Aries likes. Aries likes to be independent. But here's Mercury and Capricorn telling you that there's a more traditional way to do it, or maybe there's an authority figure who's pushing at you. So just try not to overreact, lash out in anger or upset. Instead, try to ascertain where you're being guided to maybe be a little bit more practical or down to earth about something. Now, I'm also watching on Wednesday, the 23rd, we have a really interesting group, a lot of energy flowing in the sky. So a couple of them are tensions, but the tense planets, these planets across the sky from each other, are also receiving beneficial flows of energy from other planets. We call this configuration a mystic rectangle. So when we look at the chart, it literally looks like a rectangle in the sky. And so this mystic rectangle configuration starts with the opposition of Mercury in traditional rule-based Capricorn standing across the sky from Mars moving backwards, retrograde, through the sign of nurturing and caretaking, Cancer. So this is the boss versus the family life. This is the concern about home, your deepest inner self, and then your public persona or outer self. So you may feel a little tension here between those two parts of yourself. But in the beneficial, in the positive, both of those energies are receiving beautiful flows of energy. So Mars is sending luck energy to Uranus and Taurus, so magical synchronicities. Mercury is trining Uranus and Taurus, so downloads of information. This is definitely a time to lean into the earth energy here. We also have the Scorpio moon sextiling Mercury, trining Mars, so intuitive, deeply intuitive, like a deep inner knowing. It's also sending all the good energy to Venus, that Scorpio moon. And then we have also some beautiful energy with the moon flowing to Neptune. So there's an enormous amount of activations in your chart, right? There's at least 5 or 6 areas of life in your chart that are all going to be speaking to each other, conversing, some of them arguing, some of them flowing. And so really make sure you have this space to be adaptable and understand which direction you should be moving. This is a time absolutely to engage in magical thinking, this kind of like anything could happen. Miracles happen every day, and they do, okay? So be open to that with those contacts of Uranus, okay? Then we fall into this lovely connection that continues to deepen of Venus in Pisces, flowing with Mars in Cancer. So this is a lovely water energy. This is a romantic energy. This is a, stay home, cook a beautiful meal, and spend time with your sweetheart or someone that you love. This is a fantastic time to put in some energy to beautify your home, to devote time and energy to your passions, to really dig deep within and see what it is that you want and what matters to you. So I'm also really loving as we get to the 26th, that Venus will sextile Uranus. So Venus is enjoying some really positive energy towards the end of the week. So lean into that. Definitely could bring some financial opportunities as well. A wonderful energy to plan your spring garden, to open up to synchronistic magic if you're looking to meet somebody as well. That kind of potential meet cutes. Do people still use that term? Towards the end of the week and into the weekend. So lean into that gorgeous energy. I do want to observe as well, Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Neptune and the North Node through the weekend as well. So this could be magical downloads, ideas. Make sure you're journaling. Make sure you're giving yourself time for stream of consciousness. I sometimes, at least for me personally, I sometimes find there's so much information out there, all these great Substacks to read, all these fantastic YouTubes to listen to or watch, all these, amazing creators. But if you clog up your own consciousness with other people's words, you don't ever have any time and space to listen to what what's coming through you. So especially towards the middle and end of the week, I want you to make sure you spend some time like that, even if it's just quietly sweeping your walk or running the vacuum or hanging your laundry or chopping your vegetables, something, where it's just you and your thoughts and you have space for these potential downloads to come through. The 26th is also the precise to the minute conjunction of Neptune and the North Node. So you may wish to kind of be respectful or aware of that. It's at 28 degrees, 48 minutes. Yeah, it's a pretty potent week. It's a pretty interesting week. A nice balance of challenges and blessings, and that's how we get things done. Now, for the light of the week, well, I would love to lean into the mystic rectangle. I love the Uranian contacts there. I think that is something very positive. I'm really loving Venus trining Mars and also Venus sextile to Uranus. So, I'm a Venus girl, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I think those are some lovely, lovely aspects to take advantage of this week. Now, as far as the shadow, well, your primary shadow is observing that connection of the Sun and Pluto, right? Pluto going down into the underworld. Again, especially if you're a Leo or an Aquarius, this could feel exhausting. This energy could be so depleting. So take the time to restore, to renew, to rest, and be ready for the rebirth, right? And then I would also, as far as shadow, watch that Mars opposite Mercury. It's kind of argumentative, can be a little, Mars in Cancer is not, it's not Mars's best look. It's a little reactive. It's a little emotional, a little overly protective. So just be aware of that. And then I would also, as far as shadow, keep an eye on that Chiron square to Mercury. Chiron has been hanging out 19 degrees forever. Forever. If you have anything at Cardinal 19, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, if you have anything around 19 degrees, I mean, it's just been drilling down on do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work. And doing the work is sometimes exhausting. So this naggy little rule follower, Mercury and Capricorn, might not feel that groovy. So that's my other shadow for the week. There are a few significant moon voids. I will mention this. Please be sure to check, especially if you are in any of the European time zones, they will impact you a little bit more strongly this week. And I'm intrigued to see what the tarot has to say, so stick around for that. If you found this useful and helpful, I would appreciate a like or a comment. It helps the channel to grow and helps me to stay motivated to film these every week for you. Please hop on the website. I've got some new stuff on there. I am now offering personal mentorships that is under the courses program. I've been doing this with some clients over this past year. It's been really meaningful for them, meaningful for me. So check that out. And yeah, let's go for the tarot. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to your Isis Lotus Tarot spread for the week of January the 20th, 2025. We are straight rolling into this year, man. gearing up for some cosmic life-changing astrology, no doubt. I like this week though. I dig this week. Be sure to get some traction if you can. So this is an Isis Lotus Tarot spread for the collective for the week of the 20th. Thank you for your patience while I find new filming spots. Trying to get organized here. Slow going, baby. Slow going. All right. All right, the first card, as you know, is the past. So where are we coming from? Okay, the basic influence of the past. And that is the Knight of Wands. So clearly there was some kind of action taken, something you were driving towards, or there was some anger or upset. And you, Ten of Wands person, you are trying to do it all. You're trying to take it all on, make all the changes yourself. You can't do this. Spread the load. The environment is you are either seeking the Queen of Cups or you're trying to cultivate the energy of the Queen of Cups, the energy of caretaking, nurturing, being intuitive and listening. As these energies culminate, you are at a crossroads. Two of Wands, you must make a choice. Now, the key card of the future is you're looking for the right situation. Whether this is, Four of Wands could be your family. Four of Wands could be the right work family. It could be the right group of friends. But you're really looking for community, but like not big community, like tight, like the people that are going to support you. All right. And so as these things come together, we have two opposing forces in play. One, the Hermit, pull back, spend a little time alone, introspective, or Ace of Swords. So a logical new beginning, a reset, a mental reset. Now the near future card is the Sun. You've got to be yourself. You have to know your essential traits, your essential gifts and talents in order to move forward here. Now the modifiers are the Fool on the Hermit side, so you really need to entertain possibility. On the Ace of Swords side, the Seven of Pentacles reminds you need to think long term. Now with the Hermit and the Fool, we have the Chariot, major arcana popping off here. So you withdraw, you recognize your strengths, you entertain the magical possibilities, hello Uranus, and then you move forward with the thing you've been meaning to do. On the other side, we have the Ace of Swords, the new idea. We thought the new thought. We're beginning to lay out the structure. Again, we have to embrace our essence. We have to think long term. And Nine of Cups, lean into the things that make us feel happy, fulfilled, and, emotionally fulfilled. Not just like, oh, well, I achieved my parents' dreams for me. No, your dreams. Two possible progressions. On the Hermit side, we have the Three of Cups. That's exciting. Reasons to celebrate. Small victories here. On the Ace of Swords side, we have the Five of Swords. We have to be careful on this side if we're too narrow-minded in our focus. On the Hermit side, with the Fool, the Chariot, and the Three of Cups, the Queen of Wands, yes, celebrate your victories, but keep doing the work. And then on the Ace of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, and Five of Swords side, here comes the Tower. So, radical change. So I feel like there's two ways to approach this week. First of all, we're coming from this idea of wanting to take action, Knight of Wands. And maybe too action-oriented, Ten of Wands. We're taking on too much, so we need to either redistribute the load or be more wise about it. The environment is that Queen of Cups. So again, it could be just this ambient understanding that comes from all the Pisces energy, this intuitive flow. And then, we come to the crossroads, right? And we can't linger there. I'm sorry, but life is changing too fast. You can't just sit there. You've got to take an action. All right? And so on the one side, you withdraw into the hermitage. You spend time alone. You reconsider, okay? You think about what your key card, your goals are. This like, what do you really want, okay? What do you really want? And then you have to identify your gifts and talents, entertain infinite possibility, and start to move forward with this thing that you already had started, okay? And you'll know it's working when you get this little victory here, and then you just have to keep going. On the other side, this is more a new idea. A new vision comes up in order to achieve what you want. Now, remember, you have to find the right environment and be yourself, right? In the right environment, your gifts and talents will be accepted. Now, then you have to think maybe a little bit more long term, a little more visionary, lean into the victories, but be careful because a quick win this week could mean that you are too narrow in your focus and a bigger change needs to take place. All right. Well, I wish you the most marvelous week. It's certainly going to be interesting. I'll see you next time. Bye.